Good morning, everybody. All right, well, I've been told I've got 10 to 12 minutes, and seeing as that nobody seems to know how to keep time around here or limit the number of bridges that are sung, I think I'm good. Just to give you all a brief background of where I come from, Fayetteville is my home. All right, I've been here 4 times, twice as a military dependent, twice as a soldier. I graduated from Pine Forest Senior High School. I came to this middle school, so you can just guess where all my adolescent influence come from. When I was 15 years old, I lost my father. And my mother thought it would be a really good time for me to get into the church. So I went through the confirmation process at Our Redeemer Lutheran Church on 401 Bypass and thought I was set. That's all I needed to do. Life transpires, adolescent hits, the church kind of fades away, sports, girls, community activities seem to take the more influential part of your life. I went to high school, graduated, went to Campbell University, went to Methodist, where my mother finally said, you know what, you're having too much of a good time. Time for you to join the Army. My brother came up and took me to the recruiter, and 2 months later, off to Okinawa, Japan I went. Basic training and then Okinawa, Japan. Never realizing all the grace through that time that was being shined upon me. Foreign country, not the first foreign country I'd ever been to, but a new foreign country. Then again, I left that one after 2 years and came back to Fort Bragg, where, of course, I learned how to go jump out of airplanes. What a fun time, right? Every time I jumped, I knew some way, somehow, there was somebody watching me. Although I was scared every time I exited, there was still somebody there watching me, even when I had a nice little high-altitude entanglement with another jumper. I walked away just fine, still not realizing the grace that was being shined upon me. Continued throughout my military career, did my first 8 years, and decided to get out. Don't know why. I try to say that I got out for all the wrong reasons, and I did. Lived my life for another 4 years out of the military trying to deal with the transition, and I couldn't take it anymore, so I came back into the Army. My mother passed away shortly thereafter as I came back into the military, and I truly disconnected with God. I always said, you know what, he'll do his thing, I'll do my thing, and when the two of us meet, he'll judge me. Never realizing that that was what I should not have been doing. Came back in the Army, immediately deployed to Iraq for 2 tours, one basically right after the other. 26 months, and always thought, my mother and my father are both up in heaven watching over me. I really don't need anything more. It got me through, but it didn't get me through. Tara and I came to Fort Bragg, 4th and final time, and thank God in 5 days I'll be retired. Yes. All right. And coming here is when my true battle with my faith started. Tara came down with cancer, and we fought that battle we're still fighting that battle. Cancer came, cancer was conquered by God, the almighty physician, along with the working hands of all the doctors involved. And that's when Tara said we need to start going back to church. So we did. We went back to a military church right there on Linden Oaks, and it didn't fit. We didn't fit. We were not getting the message. It looked like we were just there to be there. So we stopped going there. Our daughter, Kylie, was a member of the youth at Gordon Springs. So we tried Gordon Springs. Again, didn't feel like we fit there. Alan broke away, started Impact Church. He'd probably been in 5-6 months before we started coming here. The moment that we decided to come here, and the moment where my wife asked Alan to be saved, was the turning point in our life. Remember the night? Go ahead and get this now. I got it. Oh, you need one. The night in a mediocre hair salon, sitting there talking with Pastor Allen and watching my wife be saved. That was awesome. I loved it. It was great. And then the attention turned to me. And I broke down like a sobbing 3-year-old, coming to my own revelation of what God is doing for me and to me. And ever since that night, I'll try to catch up with my notes because I've gone way past them. I've learned so many things. First of all, that I have become a devout member of the church. There, with my own strife and my own dealings with my past, the loss of family members, the fear of losing another loved one to cancer, the constant battle that we're having with Tara's health due to all the treatment from cancer, that we have laid everything in God's hands. I've seen a complete turnaround in my perspective in life. I no longer drive down the road yelling at people that are driving stupid. And when it does slip, I look up at the sky, I ask for forgiveness. I'm like, I know I shouldn't talk like that. Alan has taught me better. And I've learned that you can't be silent in being a disciple. You have to be out there. I was actually approached by somebody that was having a work-related crisis. Didn't know what to do, didn't know how to do it, didn't know where to go. And I simply asked her, what is your current religious practice? How are you with God? And she was like, oh, I'm really good with it. I go to church. I'm like, okay. If you're so good with God, then put it in his hands. I've put so much in the last year into God's hands with Tara, and one misdiagnosis from 4 years ago that is now affecting her, to the cancer treatment, to now the thyroid treatment, to one surgery and now another surgery. We've just left it up to God. She thought she would never get her voice back for almost 4 years. Last Sunday, she got her voice back. So she's finally getting her second surgery, and we're proud of it. So I'm just saying, put everything in God's hands, and you will be amazed on what he will do for you. The grace of God is never ending. So on that note, I have exceeded my time by a minute. But hey, at least I'm keeping to a time schedule. And not singing too many bridges. All right. That's my testimony, y'all. I love y'all.